So I was reading about this ancient culture the other day, the Sintashta people. Ever heard of them? No? Neither had I. They're from the Bronze Age. Yeah, that period when humanity was just figuring out that rocks weren't the best tools. Big breakthrough. Now these Sintashta guys, they lived in what's now Russia around 2100–1800 BCE. Geographically speaking, these guys were pretty cozy in the Urals. But they weren't alone. They rubbed elbows with the Andronovo, Abashevo, and Srubnaya folks. Imagine Russia, but with more bronze and the same amount of murderous egomaniacs. Not surprisingly, these guys were hanging out there, building cities with actual walls. Walls. In the Bronze Age. Meanwhile, everyone else was still figuring out how to not live in a cave. And they farmed. They're out there, growing crops and herding animals. I can't even keep a houseplant alive. And these guys are managing cattle without a John Deere. That's commitment. But here's where it gets wild. These guys were obsessed with metal. Like your friend who got too into his high school metal band, except these guys were actually good at it. They're making stuff out of copper and bronze like it's going out of style. I can barely handle assembling an IKEA shelf, and they're over there forging metal. Then there's the chariots. These dudes invented chariots. That's like the ancient version of a convertible. Imagine rolling up to your Bronze Age date in a brand new chariot. These things went from 0 to 100 in, well, never, but still impressive. Their burial practices, though, were something else. They're burying people with their chariots and horses. That's one way to travel to the afterlife. Yeah, I'm dead, but I'm still riding in style. Beat that, Steve. And the best part? They might have helped spread the Proto-Indo-Iranian language. That's like inventing slang that becomes so popular it turns into a whole new language. Hey, I just said cool, and now it's a national dialect. Look at me, changing the world. These folks were the ancient world's social butterflies. Trading, cultural exchanges, you name it, they were into it. But seriously, these Sintashta folks were the unsung badasses of the Bronze Age. Building cities, working metal, driving chariots. And what do we remember from history class? Some guy in a toga. Go figure.